Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer and today I'm gamesplaining Black Angel. If you have watched my other videos, you'll have an idea of how Black Angel plays. I have set the game up as a 3-player game. There's a couple of differences on the 2-player game, so it's just a bit easier for us to see how the game actually runs as a 3-player edition. I am going to play through a portion of the game, definitely not the whole thing, because the whole thing takes a good amount of time. The first player is white. He doesn't get any bonuses. Second player gets 1 extra red token, and third player gets the extra red token plus gets to lock one of the dice. So let's get started. White is the first player up. He's looking at a 2 in the yellow, a 3 in the grey, and a 1 in the green. It'd be worth his while to go after that grey card because when it gets kicked off, he will gain those elements. That one's a little bit harder to get, but might be a worthwhile one. This one, he's going to have to actually get rid of things from his board to get the point, so he may not want to do that. So he thinks he'll start with that one and get rid of it this way, which means he gains an extra ship. He now chooses to play something out of these dice, or he could choose any of the others. He can't touch this die because it's a locked one, but all the others are showing 1s, so there's no real point in stealing them. You can't flip them over. I don't think I said that in the Gamesplanation. You can only flip over your own dice using the rubies. He might, to start with, send a guy out, so that guy gets into the ship. He's going to be playing this card because that's the only card he has, which will go 3 distance from the Black Angel. Because it's one that will actually get points when it gets kicked off the back, he probably wants to go as far away as possible. So 1, 2, 3. To place that there. He puts one of his guys on there, which gives him 4 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4 points straight away. That adds a grey card to this lineup, and he takes one of those grey cards back in. It's now the next player's turn. Okay, he's also going to spend a yellow card, and he'll spend that down there to get an extra ship as well. Because he's placed this next to only one of these, only one card comes out, and that's a number 5, and we put a single card on that one. Coming over to Red's turn. Red is looking at his cards and he thinks that he doesn't really want this one. So what he's going to do is he'll play that just there, which will get him another ship. He would really like this one, however, the green, because that's potential 6 points, 7 points for him. Because that's one that will only get points when it gets knocked off, it's probably worth his while coming down to here, which means he will use one of his rubies to flip that 1 into a 3 and use it just here. Now, because there's an alien there, what that means is one of these dice gets a cube on it, and what that will mean is when someone picks up that cube, whatever is rolled is -1. Then grabs a ship, and he'll come down to here, 1, 2, 3, away, to play that card and put one of his guys on. That's worth 1 point, and he'll get those other points when it gets kicked off the bottom. He's played green, so he gets another green card back into his pile, and that die goes back away. The other thing that happens is because there's a green on the top of that, we add 1 more green to this lineup, and then move on to Blue's turn. Blue is looking at these, and all of them are worthwhile. He thinks it might be in his best interest to get this one out, because that'll give him 2 points, but also gives him the ability to get some stuff. So he might play that grey card just there, which will enable him to get another token. Now, if he wishes to go up here as well, he's going to want to go straight forward, but you can't fly through these 3 asteroid fields. You have to go around them, which means he can't actually reach that spot. 1, 2, 3 is the best he can get to. So he can get to this one, but he can't get to those guys. So he might sit on that and think about it for a little longer. What he will do instead of doing that is he'll use his yellow die and do this one. What that allows him to get is all 3 of those cards. And he thinks that's probably a worthwhile thing to do. That hasn't cost him any cards to do the action, so he will gain an extra yellow for it, and he needs to choose where to put the things. This one will allow him to get the card above and below when that one's taken. He thinks it might be worthwhile to do it that way. Now nothing over on the other side of the board is put back in, not until another one of these cards comes out. And we keep moving. It's back to White's turn. White would really like to get that card out to get the stuff from it, but he doesn't have any more grey things down here. He could steal one, but it's only worth one, so he could get it to here, or he could hang on to that until he has cards again. So what he might do right at the moment, he'll play a green card so he can do that. That enables him to either throw one of his guys from here to the outside or bring a new guy in. He thinks he's going to do that for the moment. Then he'll play his 2 yellow to grab this tile to put in from the bottom, and that gets him another yellow card into his hand. Moving forward, the red player is going to play that to flip his die over, and then he'll actually play it there, which releases 3 of those red. He can put them onto his things, which he thinks he's going to do, and that will give him one more spaceship. It will allow him to bring another guy in, which I think he's going to do for the moment. He will gain one more red or diamond, but he's going to take the red. They will clean up into that top area next time he does a phase B, or when he does a phase B. This causes him to have to discard a red card, which he has. If he didn't have that, he wouldn't be able to do that action. He'll take in a new blue card or grey card because that's the colour that he's just used, and push the dice across. Now notice he didn't do the first action. He didn't have to. That is an optional action. On to blue. Wants to use his yellow card to do a mission up here. But in order to do that, he's going to have to discard one of his other cards from his hand, both of which look pretty good, but he thinks he will get rid of that one. But before he does it, he's going to use the alien card, or Ravager card, should I say, go here, and that will gain him this one, which is one more robot into the break room, and he'll also take that, which allows him to move one of the guys out to use a die, or he could move backwards if he wished to, but that's a later game thing. He doesn't have a yellow die to be able to do it, so what he's going to now need to do is pass a crystal across to this player to steal his die, get rid of one of the cards, and the card he's going to get rid of is that one, so I can just go up into a discard pile. He is then going to come into a ship and fly out to that, which is one away, and he'll go there. That then brings one more of these guys over. That's worth 1 point, so that pushes him forward 1 point. And now he's trying to get grey cards onto this spot higher up, so it's stuff that's left there when that one gets ejected. Because he's played a yellow die, he gets another yellow card, and we move forward back to White's turn. White only has these 3 cards. He only has a green die that's showing a 1. So if he goes here, he gets to get rid of one of these cards, which might not be a bad idea. He could turn that one into a 3 and take that, which may even be a bit better idea. He has a spaceship. Yep. Okay, so what he's going to do is he's going to use this card to start with down there, which gives him another guy and allows him to move one of the guys out, and he might do that. So he'll get 2 of each of those dice next time. Then he's going to use his red token to flip that one into a 3 and do a flying action, which puts that into that. 1, 2, 3, which now means that he'll get 3 points when that one gets kicked off the board. Even though the other player's getting 6, he's still getting 3, so there's a chance of keeping up. Because he's played a green die, he'll take a new green card in, and we move on. Red has no dice left. He has the option of taking one of these dice, which isn't necessarily a good thing for him to do. Of course, they're only showing once, he's not able to turn them. So what he might do instead is play sequence B. So the way sequence B works is, to start with, we gather the dice for red. So there's 1 from here, 1 from here, and 1 from here, because he has 1 robot in each. Reroll all 3 of them. He now has the option of reserving one of those dice, and he thinks it's probably worthwhile reserving that. So he's going to pay to do that. These tokens then come up to the top. That then comes around to flick under his board to show that he's used one of them. These now get ejected. So white, because he was the only person on here, will get a ship and one of his robots back into the break room, plus he'll get 3 crystals. That card then goes into his collection down the side. Then over here, red is taking 6 points and white is getting 3. 1, 2, 3. And then all of those robots and spaceships are ejected as being used. That card then comes down to red, who owned it. This tile then flips up to the top, pushing us 1 spot closer to Hess. Bring this forward and pushing that towards the back. Then we move on to Blue's turn. He thinks he will use one of his reds to flick that one over to a 3. That allows him to collect all 3 of these cards in, so they become part of his hand, and he gets a new green card in for himself. And I think that I have managed to do everything that is necessary in the game. I think I'll leave it there. If you have any games that you would like to be Gamesplaned, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games that I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.